I, believe it or not, just witnessed the greatest surfing website in the history of man. And you know what it is? Old Fellows Rule. And you know the highlight of the whole thing? They got these old guys, and they're old. And these guys, I've seen a few of them, and they're in their 90s. They're so old. So I look at this thing, and it says the old fellows still on a roll. What do they mean, still on a roll? What, like a sesame seed roll? Oh, fellas, cut me a break. It's a nice website. It's got pictures of guys that they look as though they should be in some sort of a home. I don't know why they're still roaming around the beach. They're walking down there with no shirts on, white hair. I can give you a brief history of surfing. And that brief history simply is, in surfing, if you haven't made it by the time you're 19 years old, you just ain't gonna make it. However, they get these outfits like Old Fellows Rule, and they sign these old fellows up, and they've got these stores, and they've got go-aheads, and they've got what do you call those things that the weightlifters use them? They don't have any arms, a t-shirt with no arms. Oh yeah, they sell a lot of these, I'll bet. They're called tank tops. Please. Remember James Brown sang that song, Please, Please, Please? Well, you know what I'm saying. It's a great site. They even have Evie Fletcher in there. You know who Evie Fletcher is? I don't, but I heard her name, and that's why I remembered it. Evie Fletcher's in there. The godfather of soul. What's his name? I forgot. I always forget. At the critical part of a taping, I always forget. The godfather of soul is, help me out here. It is, Leroy Grannis. And Leroy Grannis is about as close to 100 as you can get. He's almost as old as Pappy Proctor was, and Pappy Proctor tipped over. I went to Pappy Proctor's paddle out, but they didn't cremate him. They just put the corpse on the board and paddled him out at Doheny. And I don't know what they did with the corpse, whether it just remained on the board. I know they didn't shove it off. They just let it sit there and they paddled back in. I went to that thing with my old friend and one of San Onofre's best friends. You remember George Stremple? Well, I do. And I know George Stremple is fine. I'm glad that you asked. So then, what the dickens is this? Why does everybody want to be old? Oh, I'm old and I still surf, and I go to the old folks home and they say, what do you do for, I surf. Well, how wonderful. I don't surf. I haven't surfed in ages, and I'm proud of it. Oh, I want to surf until I die. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Could you picture being, I'm 103 years old right now as we speak. Could you picture taking the 103-year-old fella out and pushing him off on a surfboard with ashes? No deal, McNeil. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I probably, and this is a big probably, a small probably, go to San Onofre tomorrow. I want to see how they're doing with that 6-foot storm drain. They're going from the point to this power plant. It's going to be this, they're digging up all the sand. They're going to close the beach down for close to a month while they install this big storm drain. You know who's going to love this is going to be the skateboarders. They'll be down there on their little skateboards with the skateboarders rule, old guys rule. You know who rules? Everybody rules. But you've got to take the bitter with the sweet. And I'll tell you right now that the tough times are coming to San Onofre. It was going downhill, and it's gone about as downhill as you can get. There's no more freebies down there. What do you call that? Annual pass is going up to $175 the 1st of January. And that's going to put a tax on these guys that go down, the homeless people that go down there and nothing to do and hang around the beach and sneak beers by the rangers. Like the rangers don't know what they're doing down there. They know these guys are drinking. They're just going to pull a sting. They're going to get, I'm not going to mention any people's names, but those guys down there think they're really safe. No deal, McNeil. And they're going to take a big swig out of that beer bottle, and the man's going to come down and put the finger on him. Haul him off to Vista Jail, bail, $1,500. And there's no IOUs. You either pay up or you don't, you stay in the jailhouse. I know this guy that was in the jailhouse the other day, and you know him. You know who he is. They took him to the Santa Ana jail. They tossed him in the clink. There were no gringos in there. They were all black hair, brown eyes, straight up from Oaxaca, Mexico. You know what I'm saying. George Bush has fouled up this country. He wants all these Hispanics in here so the people that support him in big business, they can hire them for, what's minimum wage, $6.80? They hire these people for $6.80. Why should they pay them $25, $30? They can pay them $6, whatever it is. But we don't talk politics here. We talk good times, and we talk hard times. I don't know what's going to happen this year at San Onofre. What is this? 2007's almost over. 2008, right around the corner. And I don't know if that, what the surfing club ought to do. This San Onofre Surfing Association Board Riding Center, they should hire for the board of directors a Hispanic. They get a Hispanic on the board of directors, and that place will take off like, you know what those things are that take off? Like a jet plane, whatever it is. Well, obviously I ran out of things to say 12 seconds into this thing. Now I'm totally out of things to say. I'm waiting for the new